And I now recognize Congressman Norman for an opening statement.
Thank you, Chairwoman Maloney, and I want to thank the witnesses for their willingness to testify before the committee today. Today, committee Democrats have contrived yet another hearing to demonize the oil and gas industry. The folks represented before us today run organizations that are providing good-paying jobs and secure, affordable, and clean energy for all Americans, something this administration is attempting to dismantle. Instead of conducting actual oversight, as Congressman Comer mentioned, oversight that shows the disastrous decisions the Biden administration had made this year. The Democrats are focused on destroying an industry and the jobs it provides to distract us from the fact that they have no plan to recoup our energy workforce or energy independence. I assume that's why they canceled the Keystone Pipeline. I assume that's how they justify buying gas and oil from countries that don't like us. I assume they do not understand the effects of the Colonial Pipeline shutdown, what it had on this country. Now we're begging OPEC to make more oil and make it affordable. Members of this committee need to start focusing on the issues that are impacting everyday Americans and the consequences of an overly ambitious and unrealistic climate agenda. I don't know about the rest of y'all on this committee, but the people of South Carolina did not send me to Washington to bankrupt our country. And even the phrase, Build Back Better, needs to be changed to Bankrupt America Quicker. We should have a hearing about some of the proposals by Democrats to spend hardworking American taxpayers' money on liberal pipe dreams. I would love to learn more about the proposal to spend $3.5 billion for the Green New Deal Youth Patrol aimed at helping jobless climate activists. Does anyone really believe the Youth Patrol will reduce the impacts of climate change? Will the Youth Patrol make China and India less of a polluter than they are now? China continues to pollute at record levels while the United States continues to reduce emissions. Do Democrats really believe that putting the oil and gas industry out of business will suddenly make China less of a polluter? I'm afraid extreme proposals by Democrats will do nothing but destroy good-paying American jobs and ruin our economy. What Democrats won't discuss and how President Biden and his administration's policies have caused a litany of issues for the American people. This administration's out-of-control spending is causing inflation to skyrocket. As a result, Americans are now paying more for goods and services while taking home less money in their paychecks. Everyone can see that. And look on your screen, the price of gasoline today is $1.22 more per gallon than it was this time last year under the Trump administration. As we enter the upcoming holiday season, the price of a Thanksgiving dinner will be a minimum of 5% more expensive than it was last year. Americans are feeling the effects of inflation in their wallets, and I fear it will only get worse. Chairwoman Maloney, we'll be getting you a letter to hopefully have the Democrats' expert, John Kerry, fly over here, I assume in his private jet on fossil fuel, to participate in a debate with him offering the expert for the Democrat side, and let us have another expert that can contradict many of his statements. Mr. Kerry has a large contingent from the Biden administration, and I'm sure he can bring them in to help him out. The Biden administration is headed to attend this conference this year on climate change without a clear mandate from the U.S. Congress to make vague commitments that will never be met. And while the top leaders from the largest polluters in the world, as I mentioned, China, President Xi, refuse to participate. While the Biden administration is in the United Kingdom, back here in America, our constituents are dealing with the growing crisis related to supply chain, gasoline prices, rising prices at every level. It is truly sad that the American people are being abandoned by their leaders at such a critical moment. This crisis is not Democrat, it's not Republican, but it's intentionally caused by the Democratic Party of today. The oil and gas industry provide good-paying jobs that help Americans reliably heat their houses, power their cars, and keep the lights on through the storm when the sun doesn't shine. Folks, we're heading down a dangerous path with the Biden administration's policies. I fear this winter and going into 2022 will only continue to get worse. It was recently reported that the home heating costs this winter would rise as much as 54%. The Biden administration, as it has done on all the crises it has had over the last 9 months, has no plan to confront these mounting problems, especially that affect everyone, but especially low-income Americans. The United States has abundant clean energy, natural resources. We must use these resources to advance America's interests while continuing to lead the world in emission reductions. This is a path forward, but the Democrats want to block it at every chance they get. Thank you, Madam Chairman, and I yield back.